Good afternoon, everybody. Bob Georgiou from Remax Accord here. The Rolling Realtors taking a pit stop in Danville at an upcoming listing. Should be on the market in the next couple of weeks. Can't give you much information right now, not following the rules, but if you're looking for a West Side Danville home in the low $2 million price point, give me a phone call and I'll give you the details. In this week's local real estate news, market's still in a plateau. Have not seen any significant changes up or down with the exception of Pleasant Hill single-family homes and Walnut Creek condos and townhouses. Both the Pleasant Hill single-family market has seen the market a little bit rebalancing. It's the only area in the central Contra Costa County that has increased inventory aside from the Walnut Creek townhouses, which are basically in the same boat. This is not to say that the market has gone into the buyer's favor. It is still a strong seller's market. It's just that those two segments of the market are neutralizing, and with buyer choices, it means that the sellers being able to command premium prices has diminished a little bit. But we're not talking about large numbers, and it's going to take large numbers to move the market into the buyer's market. It's just still in the process of neutralizing compared to other parts of Contra Costa County. Even the other markets that look like they were rebalancing have shown signs of stabilization, with inventory going back in the seller's favor. Hugely strong seller's market. Danville, Concord specifically, when the market changes, it's going to change in Concord first, and that market is sort of stabilized with no decrease in pricing in the most recent closing. So right now, don't see much changing all the way into October, into the fourth quarter, when we'll begin to see the market reshuffling with people leaving the market, both buyers and sellers, for year-end holidays. Not much going on in national news either, other than to say that the Denver, Colorado market has sort of collapsed. They've seen 30% price correction for some reason. Did not get a chance to read the details on that market, but it's certainly curious that something like that is happening in that specific market. It's one of the stronger and growing parts of the country. So some anomaly going on there. Could be the weather. Motivated sellers looking to get out, and they've been hit real hard with rainstorms, so that may be a big factor. What happens is typically when there's low inventory, small changes in the market will make big dramatic differences in the numbers. So it's very likely that that's just an anomaly. I don't expect, we'll have to look at that to see if there's any national trend. Been studying up on interest rates, and the market is in a very strange situation. We're still in a QE world. I talked about this a little bit in the last video, but we're still in a QE world, and it's hard to make sense out of the information that we're getting. What seems to be happening is if the Fed's intervention in the market is holding interest rates where they are. If the market were left to its own devices, it seems as though the long-term interest rates, which affect mortgages, would be lower than where they are right now. So the market pressure is downward if it weren't for the Fed's intervention of what they're calling stabilization. They're definitely afraid of having interest rates go negative. But the problem they're having is that short-term rates are way up, and it's creating a very steep inverse yield curve that would be worse if the government would stop intervening in the markets. And their market moves are intended to press down short-term interest rates, and whether they're being effective, the signals are mixed. I'm hearing it both ways, that short-term rates would be higher if the Fed weren't intervening, and that they're failing in their short-term interest rate management. What this means for real estate is that I really don't see interest rates changing into next year. Again, the government's trying to get the long-term rates up. The market's trying to push the rates down. Typically, the market is stronger than the Fed, but unless there's some other significant economic shock, it's just going to be a push-pull status quo, at least in the near term, which is going to be about 6 months, which will put us into 2022, barring any sudden shock that was not planned. Given the fact that we're still in the Delta variant, that lockdowns are still imminent, if not in place in some places, that's uncertainty that the market is factoring into the pricing of interest rates. And as long as that uncertainty is hanging over, it's going to be very hard to predict what's going on with interest rates in the long term. As far as the short term goes, we're going to have to triple the inventory before the market goes into the buyer's market. Right now, all we're seeing is balancing. Buyers are being far more selective, and at these price points, this is normal post price acceleration activity. Right now, the buyers that were in the first and second quarter looking at $1.5 million in Danville, for example, they've been priced out, and their money will buy less of a home. So they're right now recalibrating, maybe looking at Walnut Creek, looking at Pleasant Hill, looking at pulling out of the market, continuing to rent, move out of the area, etc. Where sellers with these new price points are looking at their newfound equity and are starting to make plans based on where this market is right now. So if inventory does come, it will come in the early part of 2022, which means that we're going to still be in a strong seller's market, notwithstanding the holidays, based on the crystal ball the way it looks today. So that's the Market Minute. Hope you enjoyed the information. We'll see how these predictions play out moving forward. And my name is Bob Georgiou with Remax Accord, 925-980-3248. And if you're out in the market, give me a phone call. Otherwise, we'll see you in escrow. Have a great afternoon.